Hey there, New World's August Developer Q&A just released. And if you want to start preparing for Season 10, then I recommend to watch this video because I think I know what's going to happen. I combed through the questions in Discord before they actually started answering to them, and the community has some pretty interesting questions. And with the Season 10 coming in a little over 2 months, there are some quite important things that have to be addressed. It's going to be a huge update, and the community wants to know how to prepare for what's coming and what development team is currently focusing on. To quickly summarize what the community has asked, then the main concerns and questions are about progression to gear score 800 and Umbral V2s, PvP balance and matchmaking, loadouts with gear attributes and skills, and some other various quality of life fixes that are long overdue. If you want to have a comprehensive overview of all of the questions asked, then I have them all under my video. You can check it out. I try to list it in order of what the community seems to be needing most right now, what I think, and what's not on the burner right now. But with that said, let's go to the developer Q&A. So they started answering questions on the Discords, and we'll go pretty much category by category, and we'll just try to squeeze as much information out of this short Q&A as possible. Just so you know, there were 156 unique questions submitted, and the developers answered to only 26 of them, and some of the questions were overlapping, but it's kinda meh, to be honest. I really hope that they would be more thorough than just do a 45-minute written Q&A session. But yeah, anyways, let's continue. The first category we're going to be talking about is gear progression and Umbrals. So question was asked about the progression, and one of the developers said that they'll share updates on gear changes in September leading into Season 10, adding that leveling gear with Umbral will be central to keeping more content viable, with more Umbral details coming in the next few months, probably before the update then. And he also noted that Season 10 will change how gear works across the board. Mutations will be one of several Umbral sources, and gear will be heavily customizable through sockets. Now, we already have sockets because we can put gems in them, but it makes me wonder, we're probably going to get some different types of gems or things to put into the sockets. I don't know, we'll see. But overall, sounds good. I'm actually excited that there will be a big variety in builds. So they gave us a little piece of information. Now we know that you can get Umbrals from mutations. What I predict is that you're going to also get Umbrals from all 3 raids in Season 10. That's going to be the Sandworm, the Gorgon, and the new raid. High likelihood of seasonal trials as well. But in general, I think it's going to be a lot similar to Dark Matter, so you can expect to get it from even Outpost Rush or Capture the Flag or Invasions, Wars, just smaller quantities than it would come from PvE content. I'm pretty certain of that. And salvaging items as well is going to give you a good amount of Umbrals. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It will help the channel grow, and with your help, I could reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you for the support. I also predict that this new raid will also be a source of chromatic seals, and chromatic seals will still be a required material to upgrade alongside Umbrals. They will not deprecate chromatic seals. Doesn't sound very logical. So that those 2 ingredients, I think, are both going to be used for upgrading. Well, chromatic seals are going to stay. I'm confident, and I will start stocking them up, like a lot of them. And if that's gonna burn me, then it's gonna burn me. We'll see. But for the Dark Matter, I think they will discontinue that, and it will be like Umbral V1 was back in the day, where you could just convert it to a low amount of gold and it will no longer be used in gear progression. Anyways, let's continue with the second topic, and that is going to be PvP and matchmaking. So the developer confirmed that a minor release will further reduce Voidblade damage, and for the Greatsword artifact, increase the melee heavy attack damage penalty while slightly buffing the projectile damage. Now about the matchmaking, developers also clarified that Capture the Flag uses infinite consumables like 3 vs 3 arena, whereas OPR will keep consumables finite to support the crafting economy, but they'll kind of keep evaluating that as the time goes by. He also said that a long-standing arena scoreboard bug has been tough to track, but they're working to resolve it next season, so it will be resolved in Season 10. For the PvP and matchmaking part, it was pretty lackluster, but at least they are addressing the problems with Void Gauntlet and the new artifact Greatsword, which is absolutely broken right now. It ain't much, but it's honest work. We'll take it. Now let's go over the third category, and that is going to be loadouts and core quality of life. So the developers have said that for Season 10, attributes will be saved inside gear sets. And additionally, the team is looking into speeding up how quickly stats change when you hold plus/minus, but the fact that attributes saved to sets should already cut a lot of clicks by itself. And saved mastery and weapon loadouts won't make to Season 10, but they would like to expand there later. This is kind of sad to hear, to be honest. Build link/review in social lobby is not going to come anytime soon due to toxic concerns, and a die preview isn't coming soon either, though they agree it's a desirable thing to implement one day. No immediate overhaul to the inventory perk search is planned, but Season 10 adds more slottable perks, and slotting UI will support more verbose searching, which means we can search the perks now instead of having to track where this perk is that you're searching for when you're crafting something. You could just write it in there and click it that way. It will be much more simple. And one thing I hope that they would answer, but they didn't, is role markers. You know, the thing where you can set your role in a lobby that you're a DPS, like I have right now on this recording, the DPS on the top left side. Let's say if we were in a raid, and then that red DPS marker would be, you know, somewhere next to my nameplate or on top of my character. In raids and instances, it would make locating the tank or the healer much faster, or setting up some certain situations with different DPS. It would make it so much more simple because you know who's next to you. But sometimes in the chaos kind of gets confusing sometimes. I hope they address it, because if we eventually are going to do some 20-man raids, like let's say the raid that's gonna come after Season 10, I hope it's gonna be a 20-man raid, then if we don't have the role markers above our head at that point, then what are we even doing? Like marking targets, every good MMO has it. You use it in wars, you use it in raids for marking enemies, marking allies. It's just essential. We have to do it. And not to mention the combat logs. I was hoping that maybe they will address the combat log situation. I know that in the past they have said, well, you have leaderboards at the end of the game, you just watch from there. Well, yes, but in raids, we don't have a DPS leaderboard at the end, and not to mention the dungeons. So I hope that this will be addressed rather sooner than later as well. And now let's move on to the fourth topic, and that is going to be loot, economy, and crafting. The developers have said that for Season 10, the team will lean more towards bind on pickup in terms of the endgame rewards, so the progression comes from doing the content rather than just farming coin, while still keeping a mix to support crafting. They are also planning to add new resources, which is described as somewhat similar to gem cutting, with more details to come. I think this is going to be some kind of a new profession like heraldry or scribing, where you pretty much make some kind of a RuneGlass 2.0 type of thing to pretty much make use of these sockets that has been mentioned so far. And of course, they mentioned that we can expect a lot of PvE in the open world and long-term investment in procedural expeditions, plus ever-shifting gear in each new season. So those are pretty bold words. We're gonna have to see how that holds up. I just hope the procedural expeditions give good rewards, have good content, nice and playable, like logical, and I also hope it has like nice leaderboards and stuff too. So looking forward to that. Now, as the fifth and final topic, somebody asked, could we get some details on the new raid coming in Season 10? And they answered following: a fallen kingdom, a coveted relic, twice the fool, royal champions, demise of a nemesis. The new raid will be roughly similar in size and format to Hive of Gorgon, with 3 boss fights and additional encounters and light puzzles in between. I can honestly say that this has some of our best visuals to date, and the team has done a fantastic job creating new mechanics and challenges to make each encounter feel unique. We're really excited to get it out to you all. Now, what does this mean? They gave us some kind of a riddle. It's time to put our tinfoil hats on, boys. We're gonna figure this one out. I think I'm going to do a separate video on this one. Maybe get the edge, maybe start preparing earlier. If anybody wants to discuss this on Discord before I actually make a video, then hop by my Discord and let's get this discussion going. Let's see what kind of different theories and stuff we can think. So yeah, you heard the developer side of things. If you want to take a look at all of the questions, I have them listed under my video. They're all tiered based on what the impact would be. But most of all, I'm interested to hear what you think. Like, what do you think about the gear progression that's coming with the Umbral V2s? Are there some kind of PvP or PvE balances you're especially looking forward to? And what type of quality of life improvements would you like to see? I'm interested in all of that. Just let me know in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed, and of course, subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.